everybody and God bless. So just real quick, Charity is in the process of eating crackers, and she's like asking me for more every once in a while, so I plan to just give her more throughout the video. So I had a dream this morning, and there was a few details that I left out of my first original recording when I first woke up. So hopefully I can remember everything. Anything I forget, I'll just put it up on the screen, or I'll just add another clip if depending on how much I forgot. Anyways, so in the dream, what happened was it was a classroom. I saw this classroom, and it was like a kid classroom, and everything was like, all the seats and chairs were plastic, and it was like a kindergarten preschool type classroom. And I saw a God's Way. She has her own channel. I saw her daughter, and then I also saw my daughter. So that's something I forgot to say in the beginning, but in my other recording. But I think the reason why I forgot is because when I saw them, I did see a God's Way, and she was teaching her daughter, or she was coming to teach her daughter. She didn't like actually start teaching her daughter just yet, but I saw her daughter, and every once in a while I was like, I saw my daughter, and then I saw her daughter. I never saw them at the same time. So then there was like two older people there, and they were, I had a knowing that they were supposed to be a God's Way's daughter's grandparents. And then I also saw a man there who was light-skinned, and I remember in my head thinking like, wow, he looks like my earthly father, because he was just as light as me. And both my daughter Charity and a God's Way's daughter, they both were like they both had like a little bit of an attitude. They weren't like openly like being disrespectful, but at the same time they were being disrespectful because they had an attitude, and they weren't fully listening to their elders, like the adult people who were there. And then that's when a God's Way had came in, and she was teaching her daughter the scriptures and things like that. And she had started a video and started recording the video, and she was making a video. And she was saying in the video how uses flashcards to help her child to remember scriptures. And when she started teaching her child these scriptures and stuff like that, her child started acting a lot better. And I had a knowing that my child also was acting a lot better because they were memorizing these scriptures. But it was for them, like they were memorizing the scriptures on their own. So she had a way to teach her child these scriptures. And so she was saying on the video, she was like, first we do this, and then second we do this, and then third we do this. And I can't remember what was what, but I know second she was showing the flashcards that she uses, and the first step she was showing them just going to sit down at those tables to teach. And so then the scene sort of switched, like she walked over, and then it like switched into her daughter being in a bathtub. Because she was like, okay, I want my daughter to talk about it now. And she said that. She was like, I want my daughter to talk about it. And when you saw her daughter, she wanted her daughter to talk about it. And she also was in the bathtub. So a God's Way was in the bathtub, and so was her daughter. But because they were in the bathtub, a God's Way even said, she was like, well, we're in the bathtub, so that's why we're wearing bathing suits. Because apparently her daughter was already in the bathtub. And now, for the sake of the video, she was like, we're going to put on bathing suits so that we can like cover up. But they were already in the bathtub. And it was like subs, like soap and stuff all over the place. And so I saw that her daughter all of a sudden now looked a lot older. And even in the dream, I was thinking, wow, she looks just as old as me. Like I'm 23, so she looked like my age. And I had a knowing it was mainly because of those scriptures. Now, I've had dreams before about my daughter learning about God and spiritually being older. So I think that's what that represented real quick. So then a God's Way's daughter was trying to like talk and stuff like that, but a God's Way was talking over her. And I saw that like it grieved her, the daughter, a little bit. Like she felt sad because she was like, I want to be able to speak. And I knew that she was feeling that way. Like I'm old enough now, I can do it. But she wasn't like mad. She wasn't mad at her mom. It was still very respectful, but you can tell like she was a little bit bummed. And a God's Way, a God's Way was like behind her like this. So this is a God's Way. And then her daughter was more in the front. And so that's when a God's way is like, she knew, she was like, okay, I'm talking too much. Let her do it. Let her do it. And then all of a sudden a God's way just stopped talking and allowed her daughter to take over the video. And she did it perfectly. Everything was fine. And in the dream, I remember looking at her daughter and being like, wow, she's beautiful. Like, she's so beautiful. Obviously when they were in the tub, their hair was wet. I saw God's way hair too, and it looked pretty similar as well. And in the dream, her hair was also longer. Well, I don't know how long her hair is in real life, because every time I see her hair is in braids or it's covered. But in the dream, I just saw that she had long hair. A God's way had long hair and it was curly. And then her daughter also had very long hair and it was also curly. And it was wet. So I guess to like help the curl pattern, I don't know how to explain it. But like for people who have coily hair, you already know what our hair looks like when it's wet and when it's detangled. So that's how her hair looked. But like, so I plan to put a picture up as similar as I can. But her hair, well, I could tell by looking at her hair that it was coily, because there is definitely a difference between wavy and curly hair being wet. But I knew her hair was coily, and I knew it was wet, and I knew it was long, and I knew it was healthy, and it was dark, healthy, strong hair. And it was very long, and it was really nice. Anyways, and I had a knowing, I felt like we had the same curl pattern. There was that part. And then I was able to zoom in to a God's Way's daughter's swimsuit, and I could see it, and it was completely like there was no cleavage at all. Like I said, she was older, like she looked like she was my age, so she would have had some cleavage, but there was nothing showing. Like it was completely like cut off, like right, like because her arms were out, so it would have been like right underneath her armpit, I guess, and then it covered like right there. And I had a knowing that she was wearing a one piece. And the bottoms, I think in my original recording I said they looked like shorts, but they weren't really like shorts. They did look like bikini bottoms, like at the bottom of it, but they were thicker. That's what I meant to say. They were thicker, so they didn't show any like imprint, if you know what I mean. Anyways, so it was very, very modest. It was very much longer, and then it looked fraily. I think that's the word. I don't know if that's the word I should say, not fraily, but it looks like scale, like that's the pattern. This pattern was scales like at the bottom, and it was a thicker white. And I remember just really paying attention and being like, wow, that's very modest, very, very modest. And it was a complete one piece. And then a God's Way, I couldn't fully see her bathing suit, but it was different. And her, she actually had it, like, see how I have my shirt and it's covering my shoulders, but her arms were out. And I knew, like, her, she's also modest. There's no cleavage showing. There's nothing showing that shouldn't be showing. And so, and I believe just now I'm thinking, I think it was a two-piece, but I think it completely covered everything. So I believe she had on a two-piece, and I believe it was like a shirt and bottoms, and I believe it showed, I believe it covered everything. So there was that part. That was the bikini part. Okay. And then while they were in the bathtub, they were showing these flashcards, and the flashcards were waterproof. So I think that's why they had to show it in the bathtub, because they had to show like it could go through water. And like I just want to really point this out. Everybody, after they got the scriptures and stuff like that, nobody was rude, nobody was mean. Like, everybody was just so sweet and loving and nice and just very beautiful. Okay, anyways, just want to say that. So these waterproof flashcards, they were in the shape of like the front part, like it was a, I don't know, like, you know how a shooting star has like a trail at the back of it, and it's got like the star part. So it wasn't a star, but it was like a flower, and then it had like a rectangle towards the end of it. I don't know, maybe I could find something that's similar to that, but it was waterproof, and it was supposed to be like flashcards, and that's what they called it in the dream, flashcards. So they were showing that they were waterproof, and then a God's Way was like, I'll try and find a link to it and put it down below, but I think she didn't actually get it from Amazon, so that's why she couldn't really find it. And then I saw in the dream how when I finished watching the video, because it was already uploaded, so I'm finished watching the video that she had posted, and I go in a description box because I was like, oh, I want that, that's really cool, you know, those flashcards are really cool. So I went in the description box, and she couldn't find it because she was like, I'm gonna see if I can find it and then I'll put it down there. So I was like, maybe I can find it. And as I'm looking in the description box, I noticed that she was posting other things like her baby registry. She had posted her baby registry, and I was able to see what was on it. And in the dream, I was like, a baby registry for her oldest daughter? Like, okay. Because it wasn't like, let me correct that. I didn't say it like that. I said, because I saw the things on the baby registry. I was okay that, you know, a baby registry for her older daughter is fine. But I was just like, it's baby items for her older daughter. And I was like, that's weird because her daughter's older. And then when I woke up, that was, I'll explain what that meant. But anyways, but just to finish it, I went on the video that she had posted and I took a screenshot of those flashcards, and then I went on Amazon and I went to go scan it on Amazon. And now in real life, a lot of times when I do that, I end up pressing the wrong buttons and I go all over the place, because they have an area where you can scan your already pictures that are already pictures, and then they have an area that you can scan like other items. All right, so then what happened? Okay, so they have two different areas. And a lot of times, like almost every single time I go on Amazon, I end up messing it up. So even in the dream, I accidentally pressed the wrong button and I was like, wait. Okay, hold on. And I was like, okay, that's the button. So I ended up finding it. It was fine. But it was okay because I do that in real life. Anyways, so I scanned the picture and I had a knowing that I had found it, and I had a knowing that I was going to put it in the description box. So when I woke up, though, I thought this was all like happening, and I was like, wait a minute, wasn't I just on my phone? I was like, wait, no, I wasn't. Hold on, this is a dream. So as I'm recording it, the first time when I first woke up, I was like, I got to that point of her having a baby registry, and I was like, but it was baby items for her older daughter. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot she's pregnant right now. So I just wanted to add that in and say that was all part of the dream. So let me explain real quick, and then I will explain everything. Okay, so in the beginning, children not acting right, and they're being like, I don't want to say like drama queens, but just being like with an attitude and things like that. So, and I believe it was showing like, yes, she is like a God's Way's daughter and my daughter, because like I said, they were switching out back and forth. Without having these scriptures in them, without having God in them, they're definitely going to become disrespectful. Okay, so there's that. And then it goes with, I was reading in the Apocrypha book how, I can't remember which one, but they were talking about how when you love God and you follow God and you put him first, obeying your parents, it'll just come naturally. It'll just come with that. So I believe that was confirmation as well in that dream, and also with what I read in the Apocrypha book. And I read that a while back, so that's why I can't remember where it was. Anyways, so then a God's Way was explaining what she does for her daughter, and I believe that was confirmation. I posted a couple weeks ago, I think, or a couple days ago, about how I'm gonna pray about seeing if God wants me to make a video about what I do for my daughter. And I believe this was confirmation to go ahead and do that video, because God's Way has already talked about a few things that she does as well for her children, or her child. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if she has more than one kid, but I believe she has one daughter. But she's already talked about what she's done for her child a few times. So I'm not sure if that was like saying that she should do a video as well. But I mean, definitely, you know, she already knows, be loved by God. But I do feel like that was confirmation for me to go ahead and do that video about things that I do with my child. Now, I'll be completely honest with you guys, it might take me a while to get it out, just because I want to really get everything down. And now with this new dream that I just had about flashcards and memorize and having scriptures memorized for like our children, like to memorize on their own, because I had a dream that when I memorize scriptures, it just goes with her when I do it. So now I need to find a way to see if I can get her to memorize scriptures. So it might take me a while to get that video out, but hopefully I can get it out today. Anyways, so then to continue with the part when her daughter looked older, and I've seen that before, when your children are getting closer to God spiritually, they start getting a lot older. I've seen that with my sister, I've seen it with my daughter, and now I've seen it with God's Way's daughter. And I believe she's not even 10 years old yet, I believe. I'm not sure, but I know she's not 23, and I'm 23. And in the dream I was like, wow, she's like as old as me. And for some reason the dream just really focused on her hair as well, and how long it was and how pretty it was. And I believe that was just another confirmation, because like she was making a video about what she does to help her child, so it wasn't like a prophetic video or anything like that, so she didn't have to put her hair up or put it, you know, or cover it. So I think that was more confirmation than like certain things that we talk about. You do not have to cover your hair. Like, she wasn't ministering, she wasn't praying. So I mean, not ministering, she wasn't prophesying and she wasn't praying. She was just saying like, okay, well, this is what I do. So it was just showing like, yeah, yes, it's okay, you don't have to cover your hair for every single thing. So you having fun? Huh. Anyways, so then a God's Way, she was behind her daughter and like talking over. So I think this, and then she stopped and she allowed her daughter to make her video and do it on her own. So I think it was like saying, so I believe it was saying that, you know, that her daughter may be having dreams and stuff, or maybe have some things she wants to talk about, to minister about. And I believe it was saying, yes, it's okay. Like, it's okay. She'll be okay. Allow her to do it. Like, she'll be okay. I think it was the biggest point was she'll be okay. So I'm not sure if a God's Way has been like worried about it, but the dream was, to me, was saying she'll be okay. It's okay. She'll be okay. And how it actually grieves her a little bit to not be able to talk and to say what she wants to say, like, and to say what she feels led to say. Not what she wants to say, but what she feels led to say. Anyways, so then when I saw the registry, so I think me also looking on Amazon to find the flashcards goes with this, because I think it was just showing like, yes, her baby registry was on Amazon, and it is okay for her to go ahead and post it. Now, God's Way is not the only person I've seen this about. I have a friend, she had a baby about a year ago, and she felt led by God to post her registry. I felt led by God to post my registry. I still update my registries till this day, and my daughter is 2 years old. So I think it was showing, yes, it's okay. Go ahead and post your registry. And it's also the part where I saw, when I saw the registry, and I was like, these are baby items. Why would she put baby items for her daughter? So I wasn't like, why would she have a baby registry for her daughter? It was more like, why would she have baby things on her registry for her daughter? Because I think it was confirmation for me, because I felt a little bit bad, because I was like, I still have a baby registry and my daughter's going to be 2. And I think it was confirmation, like, it's okay to keep it as long as it is, you know, actually things that she needs. So, and that's because I saw these things on a God's Way's baby registry, and I was like, those are like baby toys, like that baby's gonna need these things. When I woke up and I remembered that she had a baby, I was like, oh yeah, so the baby registry is for her baby, because in the dream I thought it was for her child that she has now. But when I woke up, I was like, oh wait, no, that baby registry is actually for her baby. So having baby items for a baby is okay. And then even if it was for her older daughter, it's okay. But I was just like, why have baby things though? So I hope that makes sense. So it's okay for me to still have a baby registry for my child, and it's also okay for a God's Way to make a baby registry and post it and get help in those things. And I even saw I saw a few items on the baby registry. It was blocks, big old blocks. There was like a castle type block thing, like a build up, like you build a castle or something like that. And I was like, these are some really cool toys. Anyways, and I remember in the dream I was like, these are for babies, like definitely for a baby. So God bless you all. Have a nice one.